the show.
No, you'll talk to me right now, Lance Russell. Pick up that little card you have, and you read the Memphis card.
Bill, I don't read the Memphis card. That comes up later in the program.
Well, don't read all them goofs out there. Read it to you. Just pick the card up and read it. I'll give it to you. There it is.
All right.
What don't you see there, Lance Russell? What don't you see?
A lot of excellent matches coming up there.
You don't see Bill Dundee's name there, do you now?
No, as a matter of fact, Bill Dundee's name is not on it.
This. As a rule, if you are the champion in this area, if you're the Southern heavyweight champion, and the heavyweight champion of the world comes in here, you wrestle him, right?
That's right.
That's right. I am the junior heavyweight champion, and the junior heavyweight champion is coming into this area, and I'm not wrestling him. Coco Ware, Sweet Brown Sugar, or Stagger Lee, whatever you want to call him, is wrestling him. I done beat his brains out. I beat everybody's brains out, and Eddie Marlin says, nobody wants to wrestle you, Bill, so I left you off. I don't want to be left off, Eddie Marlin. I'll wrestle the whole stinking card. Just book me against anybody, and I'll wrestle him. You come back out of retirement, bag of bones, and I'll wrestle you. I really don't care who it is. Just find me an opponent, Lance Russell. Find me an opponent.
I think you made your point.
Just sign me against that redneck, and I'll wrestle him.
You made your point. We'll take time out, and we've got action coming up, and we'll see the superstar in it in just a moment. We're about ready to go to the ring. We've got that are coming up on TV5 tonight at 10:30. UCLA, Memphis State. It'll be live right here on TV5, and I know all of you will want to be seeing Memphis State when they take on the big UCLan team out there at Pauley Pavilion. Tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, the King Show, Jerry Lawler Show. We'll have some interesting guests. Stagger Lee, Joe LeDuc, and Randy Savage will be guests, and we'll also have some footage on the Southwestern basketball team. All of that tomorrow morning on the Jerry Lawler Show, 11 o'clock, TV5. Hope maybe you'll have an opportunity to get it. Woogie, let's take a look now at the action coming up down at the Mid-South Coliseum. First, a reminder, the tickets are available up until 5 o'clock today at the Mid-South Coliseum. You can go by and get your advance tickets in. And, of course, you can all day Monday up until bell time, which will be at 7:30. Be looking for you out there for the opening bout, which is going to be a fight and a half. When you see all four of them get it together. LeDuc and Savage, Lawler and Idol, and that action will be taking place without a question of a doubt Monday night. Going to be something worth seeing. Entire card available. It's beautiful. Be there and see it. 7:30 the start time. Get your tickets today up until 5 o'clock. We'll be looking forward to having the opportunity for you to get them all day on Monday, too. So there we have it, the action coming up Monday night. We hope maybe you'll make it a plan to bring the entire family out there and enjoy all of the action that's coming up. Tell you what we'll do now. We've got the Fabs coming out here, and we want to talk to them a moment. They're going to be joined by Roughhouse Fargo in a match that will have the A-Team and the Russian Invader as their six-man match. Eddie, always good to have you out here, sir.
Let me tell you something. You know, I've been coming out here and I've been taking Tattoo real light. I've been coming out here and making a joke about him all along ever since he gone to the other side and chose his ways. Let me say, after this morning, Bill Dundee, I'm taking you a lot more serious. Take a real good look at my face. I know you're back there in the back laughing somewhere thinking I got that big goof with me and I'm protected. All you got to do is you got to bring him down there with you and just stand him in the corner. Bill Dundee, your days as a wrestler are numbered in this area. You've been picking on everybody else all around, but you ain't picked on us. Now you've jumped into the fire, Dundee, and let me tell you what happens when you jump into the fire. You just take a good look at me, real close. If you get that camera, I want you to zoom it right in on my face. Dundee, this is the worst sight you've ever seen, because every time you wake up in the morning, you're going to see me looking at you. When you look at your breakfast, you're going to want to puke because you're going to see me down in it, because I'm going to be right on your back. Dundee, your days as a wrestler are over. I laughed at you before, but I'm not laughing at you now. I'm going to laugh watching you leave this area, because when you're done with me, you ain't going to want to wrestle in this area ever again, because I'm going to humiliate you. You're half a man, Dundee, and you're going to be meeting a full man.
Eddie, yeah,
Lance. I don't know where that other guy came from. He jumped out of the
I don't even know who
I don't know if he thinks he's a wrestler or if he's just some reject from a Charles Manson clan or some Hell's Angels group. Let me tell you something, Dundee. I don't care if the guy's got tights or not. Bring his big carcass down there Monday night, too, because I'm going to get me some, too, Jack. I've fought big guys before. I've been wrestling for the past 6 or 7 months. I haven't used any karate because Eddie told me not to. But, son, Monday night, I'm going to get my foot up there. I don't care how tall he is, 6'4", 6'5". I'm going to kick your head, you big overgrown Bigfoot-looking goof. Let me say one thing, too. Monday night, we're not going to change our first match. We're bringing the Nut House with us. We're going to take care of that match. But, Eddie, we brought you out here for one reason. If you would sign one more match, the little midget Dundee, the half pint, and that big overgrown gorilla bring his, you know what, too, because we're going to get some of them, too, Eddie, if you don't mind. Would you please?
What about it?
Lance, they want the match. I want the match. It is signed.
Right.
Okay, well, that's fine. I'm not exactly sure who we got signed, but I know Dundee and whoever that guy that jumped in there, I think he was out there in the audience that just jumped in and helped. Well, I believe he's a friend of Dundee to have jumped in there helping Billy out in a situation when Steve Kern just about had him in there. So that match has been added to the card. Just put it along with all of the other great bouts that we listed in there. Also, that 6-man, as Stan pointed out, will take place. That's Roughhouse joining the Fabulous Ones against the A-Team and all. But just add the Dundee and whoever it is that he will be in there with, the guy that helped him out today. That'll be added to Monday night. We're going to take time out. Be back with more action in just a moment. We got through about 36 minutes without Jimmy Hart being out here.
Okay, baby.
What is all
You got it, Daddy. You got it. Hey, man. They said I'm stupid. I've been telling all you people out here I was 6'6" and 290 pounds for 4 weeks. There it is, 6'6". Show him, Jimbo. Show him. Then go the Sundowner, son. Then go the Sundowner now. I'm the brains, and he's the brawn. Zoom that camera and stand right there, big fella.
Who is this,
Hey,
Bill?
that's my friend.
Jumped in.
That's my friend. There's nobody comes out here and calls me Tattoo. There's nobody comes out here and calls me Half Pint. Give him the back shot. Give him the back shot. Now, let me tell you this, something.
Where's Lance Russell?
This man can squat 800 pounds and bench press 5, and them Fabs don't weigh 225 apiece. We'll see you Monday.
Whoever it is, he got himself into some trouble when he jumped in on the Fabulous Man.
Man, you know, Russell, sorry I'm a little late getting down here today. You know, we were in the office. I asked the family, don't be down here today, baby, because we don't want to have any dissension going on like Eddie Marlin wants to pull. You know,
Tangling in one here, and it leads to something more serious Monday night. Let's take a look.
Now Dutch Mantell down. They're out on the floor. Watch out. Mantell and Dennis Condrey on top of the table. Condrey and Mantell. Mantell and Condrey. What a battle. Condrey once again. With Mantell out of the ring. Here comes Condrey again, right after. Oh! Round behind, picks him up, atomic drop, and the Dutchman down on the mat. Dutch able to power out, count of 2. Condrey comes back again. Knee to the midsection. Condrey complaining about that one. Mantell going after him. Backdrop. Dutch. Pounding away with a fist on Dennis Condrey. 7 minutes. 23 to wrestle in the time limit. Now, Dutch Mantell going for the submission hold. The abdominal stretch. And here comes Norvell Austin. Austin with a chair in his hand. Look at this guy right here. Immediate disqualification. Yes, sir. 7:16 of disqualification. And now, Austin caught Dennis Condrey with the chair.
Dutch Mantell appreciated that, Norvell.
Well, it's going to be different. Let me tell you something right now. This man has been with Dennis Condrey for 5 years. Tell him what it's going to be like in that loser-leave town, Norvell.
Exactly right. Let me tell you one thing, Lance Russell. We got one thing going for us. We got everything going for us because we got Jimmy Hart. Let me tell you something about Dennis Condrey. He do not play when it comes to loser-leave town because a man of his stature will not let Dutch Mantell beat him. Now, you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, I'm behind Dennis Condrey all the way. You might not think I'm going to be down there, but I'm going to be backing him up all the way. Now, with the leadership of Jimmy Hart don't have no trash in his family.
That's right, baby. No
He do not have no trash in his family. He loves winners. We're winners, you understand me? And Dennis Condrey will not lose this match, I guarantee you that.
Well, one of them's leaving town.
Dutch Mantell will have to leave.
That's right. Say goodbye to Dutch. Now, before you start smiling and laughing about dissension, right or wrong.
Oh, we already mentioned how they had that little scientific match in there, but something went wrong.
Okay.
Got a little angry.
There you go.
There.
Show the film right now. The Bruise Brothers.
I want everybody to see this.
I do too. I want
Take a
to
look.
see it.
Bruise Brothers and the Grappler. And Chops rushing in. He's caught twice with that arm drag and bounced off the mat. Here comes. Nice leg scissors. Chops moves in, grabs that arm. I'm stunned. At this point, not a single violation that we've seen. And going for the backdrop, we have not had, not one single instance, as Randy just pointed out, in better than 8 minutes now. We've had one violation of the rules. Uh-oh, Dream getting up, and a grappler who was trying to go over the top tripped over him and went through the ropes, hit that concrete hard. Dream Machine right in on him. Uh-oh, here comes the other grappler, pushing the other grappler down, and Dream up and slugs number one. Number two nails the Dream. Little Fight City going here. Look at Hart. Referee's going to stop it. Hart can't stand this. Oh, the grappler pushes Hart down. The Dream Machine pushes hard. Big elbow. Dream down. Chop slammed into the turnbuckle. The referee has called for the bell. Here comes Norvell. Here comes the A-team. Here comes the Russian Invader. Having a little family squabble right here. And the grappler goes after Porkchop. Right above us. Look at the Dream right on his back. Norvell trying to pull him out of there. The other grappler is caught by the A-team member. Russian Invader lays that 279 holding Chops in the corner. And finally, Hart has got them separated.
That's okay. Hey.
Jimmy Hart, got to come here and get a comment from you. To see that Jerry the King Lawler against Randy Macho Man Savage cage match that took place. We got some highlights we thought you might be interested in watch. Watch the Wild Man and the King go at it. Great standing side headlock. Jerry Lawler. Randy Savage. Woo! And Lawler fires Savage in. Nails him. And Lawler knocked over on the apron. Watch out, Savage goes up to the top turnbuckle. Drops down right on Lawler's back. And Savage whirled by Lawler around and snapped into the side of the ring. He's going up on top of that cage. I don't believe it. He is way up in the air. The Macho Man is said to be crazy. I believe it now. And here comes the King. Getting behind Lawler, trying to get him steamed blocking Savage's effort. Catches him in the midsection. Going after Macho Man. Lawler heaves him over the side. He hits the cage. Here comes Big Joe LeDuc. LeDuc in the air above Lawler. It's going to be a disqualification as LeDuc brings it about. Calhoun thrown over the top rope, dropped out into the concrete floor. LeDuc puts Lawler down on the deck. Here comes Savage. There goes Dutch in there. Jim Jamison. Savage gets away. Before you get kind of an idea about what kind of wild guys these guys are, I'm talking about Savage and LeDuc. They are both lacking a little something upstairs there because they do so many wild and unbelievable things. It is just hard to comprehend two guys doing that. Coming out, King, who will be involved in a tag match with Austin Idol going against these two crazy guys. And Jerry, before we take off on that, I would like to share with you and all of our audience here some comments that Randy Savage had to make about this tag match coming. Let's take a look at it first.
Out, yeah, message from the Macho Man to Jerry Lawler and his dad. Yeah, I want to tell you something from the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Wait a minute, man. Freaking out in my mind. Jerry Lawler's dad is dead. Jerry Lawler's dad is dead, man. He ain't healthy, man. He's in his grave somewhere turning over and over and over and over. Yeah, you know why, Jerry Lawler, your dad is turning over in his grave? Because you come to the well twice. And you left empty-handed, yeah. Last time in a steel cage, yeah. You went against the Macho Man, Randy Savage, yeah. And that means something all over the world, yeah, it does, yeah. And Jerry Lawler, your dad, man, he is really embarrassed about it, man, yeah. Because what you've done is you've gone past your due retirement. Yeah, you should have retired before you faced the #1 world's greatest athlete in the world today. Yeah, me. Yeah, me, Jerry Lawler. Yeah. And now you're talking about coming to the well for the third time, man. Well, you're crying and you're crying and you're crying, man. Man, don't you have no pride? Don't you have no pride, Jerry Lawler? Think of your dad, man, being dead. Yeah, think of your dad being dead, Jerry Lawler. And you're coming after the Macho Man for the third time. Yeah, what do you think he thinks right now? You and Austin Idol against the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and a partner. Why don't you tell your dad the truth? Why don't you tell your dad that I went to Eddie Marlin and tried to get a handicap match? Yeah. Austin Idol and Jerry Lawler versus the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah. For the third and final embarrassment. But no, Eddie Marlin, man. He's backing you 100%, man. He don't want to see you just sit down and cry in the Mid-South Coliseum. Yeah. In front of thousands and thousands of people. So I'm going to tell my partner something, man. I'm going to tell him to hold the rope, yeah. So it ain't going to be no handicap match, but the Macho Man's going to start. And Austin Idol, man, I'm just going to slap your face, yeah. Because the legend did it, and that's going to be my autograph to you. But I'm going to put Lawler down for the third time and show the Mid-South Coliseum and everybody in Memphis, Tennessee, and all around the world that the Macho Man is #1. Yeah, but also I want to show somebody else something. Up there somewhere, Jerry Lawler's dad, if you're watching down on me right now, you're seeing me shining the night. Yeah, shining the night, Jerry Lawler. Shining in the night. Dig it?
Uncouth, goofy son of a gun. That's Randy Savage. He is wild.
Well, let me just say this about Randy Savage. You know, listening to that interview, I said last week that he had the luxury of having his father be able to run down to the ringside and help him when he got in trouble. And, you know, my father died in 1969 before I ever got started wrestling, but he used to take me to the wrestling matches when it was down at Ellis Auditorium. And I think that I think that my father would have, one of the things that I really regret was the fact that he never realized or never got to know that I did get to be a professional wrestler, because he did admire the wrestlers and really loved the wrestling, and I think he would have been pretty proud of the fact that I became a wrestler. And for me to stand here and listen to a piece of trash like Randy Savage even say my father's name or my dad on his mouth makes me sick to my stomach. So let me tell you something, Randy Savage. When I get in that ring with you down at the Coliseum Monday night, brother, I promise you one thing. I want you to have your dad sitting in the back, and I want him to be watching. Because I feel like my dad will be watching too, and brother, I'm going to give you a hell of a beating that you've never had in your life. I'm going to pull every stinking strand of hair out of your stinking head. That's a promise from the king to the stinking macho man. So you better tell that partner, Joe LeDuc of yours, to be ready, because you're going to need him, brother. You're going to need Joe LeDuc, and you're going to need your father, and you're going to need every stinking friend that you've got, if you've got any. Because, brother, I'm going to come with everything I got. And Randy Savage, I don't think you got enough to handle me, son.
It'll all be taking place Monday in there. In just a moment, we're going to be hearing from LeDuc and from Austin Idol. Right now, though, we're going to take time out. We'll be back in just a moment.
This looks to me like an axe handle. Matter of fact, it is an axe handle, and I've used it a lot. Oh, how much I've used it. As a matter of fact, I have nicknamed this axe handle Minerva. Take a good look at her, cameraman. Yeah, she's been beaten up and she's been splintered a little bit, and she's been beaten up over people's heads, you know what I'm saying? Over people's noggins. I've taken this stick and I've whipped a bunch of people. Now, Monday night, Jack, I'm telling you, you see Minerva here? You see Austin Idol right here? And you know what King Lawler looks like. We're coming down that aisle. We're going to get in the ring, and we ain't going to do nothing but take some and crack people over the head with it. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to stop till I see the blood squirt out of their heads, till I see the eyeballs pop out of their heads, until we have two bodies laying prone, laying flat on their backs, Jack, and only then. And when I look around and see people standing on their feet and saying, we want more, I'm going to take this handle while the king holds them, and I'm going to ram it down throats. I'm going to take it and punish people. I'm going to beat up people until I can't stop, until I get my belly full. Monday night, Jack.
Well, not to be outdone, Joe LeDuc had some comments also about that match coming up. Savage will be his partner. We want to wait just a second, and we'll listen to Joe LeDuc. I really can't imagine these two guys as partners together. Dave, Randy Savage, Joe LeDuc. Let's hear what Joe had to say.
You know something? Seems like the king, the real king, has come back to Gray City. Jerry Lawler, it's been a few years. Lawler, you call yourself the king for many years, but you remember when LeDuc was around here, you were not the king no more, because I am the real king. I'm the one that commands. I'm the one that tells you what to do. And when I say go down, you go down, Lawler. You remember when I cut my arm with an axe and I make a vow that I'd send you to the hospital. You went to the emergency room, brother. Talking about me being crazy, breaking glasses on my head. No, I'm not crazy. I got 4, 5, 6 made, brother. They're all beautiful. I've got 7 or 8 women, diamond and limousine. But I've got guts, and I've got blood, and that's what it takes, Lawler. Last week, I didn't do nothing to you compare to what's going to happen next time you get in that ring with the real king. You hear that? Joe LeDuc is back, and I think you know it, a little bit about it. So, brother, this is a corridor mendacity. Go for it.
When it comes to tough men, and maybe some would say wild wrestlers, there's one name that's going to appear on just about
Here comes Dundee, grabbing the leg of Steve Kearns. Stan Lane coming over to help his partner out as Dundee had come back. Morris scoops Steve Kern up, slams him down on the mat. Big elbow. Morris wheels him with an elbow and dumps Steve Kern down on the mat. Turns around to do a little hot dog and telling the crowd, there's your hero. Look at him laying down there. Way in the air and a bounce down on the mat. Referee Paul Morton. Uh-oh, he's got our mic cable from our PA mic wrapped around the throat of Steve Kern. He's outside the ropes. Bill Dundee over distracting and agitating. Dundee in the corner. Dundee foot in the midsection, rattles Kern with a right. Morris with a brute force. Dundee, he's using a lot of force, but he's a lot slicker and with a lot more experience than his huge partner. Just caught a right hand, another from Steve Kern. Kern really rattling. Big backflip. Kern up in there with the elbow, puts him down and it. Kern covers him up. Morris comes in. Stan Lane nailing away. Now the referee trying to get Stan out of there. Morris a foot in the back. Drops Kern on the top rope. Dumps him down on the mat. Dundee covers him. Out of the ring. 1, 2, 3, and I believe that's it. Really a stunner for a lot of the folks that were there to see that one at the Coliseum when Dundee and Jim Morris defeated the Fabulous Ones. And, of course, with what had happened up here and everything else, it led to a match that is coming up down at the Mid-South Coliseum between Steve Kern and Bill Dundee. Now, there are no partners. There's no Stan Lane. There is no Jim Morris that's going to be involved in it. And in this match, it is going to be a loser leave town. And this is a situation where there's a guaranteed loser. Hi, here comes Eddie Marlin. Hey, oh, yeah, Eddie, we'd get down there. Happy holidays to you. Good to have you out here. We were just talking about the Dundee-Steve Kern match, Eddie, and it's a guaranteed loser. Is that correct?
That's right, Lance. I got both of them's name on a contract. Both of the men are well aware of it. It's 12/26/83. You know Dundee lost to loser leave town before.
Yes, he did.
He came back on account of the tournament. This time, both men know that it's for 1 year. Under no circumstances will they come back.
There's no circumstances that they're going to be able to come back in here, like a tournament or anything like that.
That's all out. 1 year from this day.
And both of them have agreed on it in a year from this date? Wow.
Dundee and Steve Kern.
That is quite a commitment in there, and I'll tell you what, you got to be dead serious, be both of those guys to sign something like that and be involved in it.
Well, they both was dead serious.
Well, I know that for a living.
They want each other pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay, Eddie, thank you for clarifying that, because a lot of the people ask, sometimes about the term, and Eddie Marlin has just indicated 1 year. He's got the contracts right there with Dundee's name on it, Kern's name on it, 1 year from December the 26th. That is what the duration of the loser leave town is for. Steve Kern, Bill Dundee. Let's take a listen to some of them. Here's Steve first.
You know, I know it's the day before Christmas, and a lot of people are getting their last-minute shopping done and getting all the presents under the tree and looking forward to a nice holiday season, and I sure hope you all have one. But myself, I'm kind of backed into a corner. I'm faced with a situation that I hoped would never happen, but apparently it has, so it's upon me. All the pressure seems to be left with me. Stan Lane's gone home for Christmas, and it won't be the Fabulous Ones together in Memphis this Monday night. It's going to be me by myself. A lot of people are wondering if he'll be in the crowd. Well, let me assure you that Stan Lane won't be anywhere in the area. All right, now the thing is it's down to me and Dundee. You know, a couple weeks ago we came out here and were lightheartedly making joke about Dundee, calling him Tattoo. Well, I used to know Bill Dundee a year and a half ago, and he had a sense of humor, and we didn't think much about it. But apparently he did, and he's really put the pressure on. You know, I don't know what's happened to Bill Dundee in the past year. I think his ego started to bother him. I think he had felt like he hasn't beat enough people, and he's looking for a real big win going out in 1983. Well, let me say this. When I step in the ring in Memphis Monday night, I know that Bill Dundee is going to step in there knowing that he can beat me one way or another. But I'm going to try to have the same confidence on the other side, because that I was his partner and I watched him for a year and a half beat a lot of men. So I'm going to say this. I've learned a lot from you, Bill Dundee. I'm not out here to knock you. I'm not out here to run you in the ground. As a matter of fact, I'd do anything I could to get out of this match, but I'm backed in the corner. And I don't want my fans coming to me later and saying, why didn't you have that match with Dundee, lose or leave town? Were you scared of him? I'm not scared of you, Bill. But it's the fact that I know there's a lot of fans out there supporting you, and I know you've had a lot of fans, and you've done a lot of great things in this area, and I know they're going to be out there behind you 100%. And I don't want to step on anybody's toes at Christmas time, but I'm forced to. The whole thing boils down to, if I don't beat you, I leave, and Stan Lane leaves, and that's the end of the Fabulous Ones. And I've got a lot of Fabulous Ones fans out there, too, and I ain't about to let them down. When we go to the ring Monday night, I hope that you're man enough to step in that ring by yourself and not have Hart or Jim Morrison in the background. I hope you're man enough to face me one-on-one and see who the toughest is. Because, Bill Dundee, I'm going to give you the wrestling lesson of your life, and I'm going to do everything possible to beat you right in Memphis, Tennessee, because I don't want to leave this area, especially at this time of year. Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be a Merry Christmas thought. Steve Kern, and let me tell you, he is one tough son of a gun, but don't forget, Bill Dundee has got a lot of experience, and we have seen him handle a lot of guys a whale of a lot bigger than Steve Kern is. Bill had some comments himself to make about the upcoming match. Loser leave town, guaranteed 1 year.
And I went over there and I looked at that little taped interview that one of the Fabulous Ones, or whatever you frickin' fracks, what I call them, but you all you rednecks out there want to call them the Fabulous Ones. So Steve Kern, and I noted a little tone in his voice, a little tone of a guy running scared, brother. He don't want this match. If there was any way out, he wouldn't take the match. Well, I don't blame you, Steve. I don't blame you. If I was you, I wouldn't take it either, because when you go down the tube, brother, the whole fabulous image goes down the tube. Now, little Billy Dundee, that's right, little Billy Dundee. Jack the Giant Killer, you're going to call him from now on, Daddy. Now, you come out here a couple of weeks ago and you're all saying Tattoo, and you're making light-hearted jokes about Bill Dundee. Well, everybody was laughing except Bill Dundee. Now, when I told you I was 6'9" and 290 pounds, he showed up, brother. With that body and my brain, there is nothing going to stop Bill Dundee what he wants, and he wants it all, Jack. Every match I'm going to sign from now on, Corn, is going to be a loser leave town, and you're first on the list. Why don't you just leave Stanley one more week, brother, and I'll have a match with him the next week in a loser leave town, and he'll be gone. Then, whoever else wants to sign one, I'm going to tell Eddie Marlin I'm signing nothing unless it says on the bottom of that contract, loser leave town, because I'm going to be the king of the hill around here, Daddy. I'm going to be the king of the hill, Kern. Now, you're right, Jack. The only thing you said it was true. You was my partner, and that's exactly what you was. I was the star of that thing. I was the guy that won all the falls. I was the guy that won them belts. I just gave you one to make you feel good. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Steve. I'm coming to that ring, brother, to prove a point, to be like Roberto Duran, to be one of the greatest at whatever it is I do, and he's the best at what he does, and I'm the best at what I do. And I'm going to be the only guy in the world that run a tag team out of that area. Not one man, two at the same time, because when you go, the other one goes. So I'm going to tell all you Fabulous One fans to come on down here. And when that music starts, and he starts down there, and that spotlight's hit that sparkly jacket, you start to scream and say, ain't he cute? Oh, ain't he beautiful? But nobody really cares, Steve, because when it's all over, and I'm standing in the middle of the ring like this, Daddy, and you leaving with your head hung down walking up that aisle, they're going to know who the best man was. Oh, yeah, and I've already told y'all, but some of you out there don't believe it. All the Fabulous One fans don't believe who the best man is. And I really don't care if anybody believes it, because I don't need none of you rednecks on my side. I hope you all come down there to be yelling for Steve Kern, because it'll be the last time you're yelling for him. Because like I said, with the stuff I'm going to use from now on, there's nothing I can do to lose, brother. Steve Kern, I wouldn't be you for all the tea in China. So, bye-bye.
Bill Dundee, loser leave town. Guaranteed that there will be a loser, and the term is 1 year from Monday night. We got more action here. We'll be back to it in just a few minutes. Okay, we're going to get one against the Universal Heartthrob, Austin Idol. Guys that have been teaming of late together and have been doing very, very well, but it comes down to it. The winner of this match is guaranteed a shot against Nick Bockwinkel, the world heavyweight champion. And, brother, when it comes down to that, you know that there is going to be some interest on both parties of being the winner of the bout between Lawler and Austin Idol. We talked to Austin Idol about this particular match. I think you'd be interested in his comments about it. Hi, we caught Austin Idol at the Mid-South Coliseum before you got away. I appreciate you waiting on us, and I apologize for the acoustics, but the importance of finding out about this was such that we'll go with the acoustics the way they are. Coming up the day after Christmas on the 26th, it is already definite and signed. Jerry Lawler, Austin Idol, the King and the Universal Heartthrob will be battling each other to find out who will be facing Nick Bockwinkel, the world heavyweight champion. It comes down to that. The international champion, Austin Idol, the southern heavyweight champion, Jerry Lawler, a battle between you two guys on the 26th at the Coliseum to find out who will be going against Nick Bockwinkel. This is something, Austin. I just can't hardly believe it.
Well, it really is, Lance, and to tell you the honest truth, it's kind of a bittersweet situation, and you know, the way the circumstances surrounded my return to the area, everything really, it was kind of surprised me too. And then, you know, I said in the beginning when I came back here, I said that I owed Jerry Lawler a big favor because, well, he was directly responsible for me to more or less kind of, you know, saw the brighter side of the coin, you know, and I kind of changed maybe my wrestling style didn't change, but the opponents have certainly changed. Yes. But to be quite honest with you, Lance, I would have rather wrestled anybody else, believe me, in the entire wrestling world than Jerry Lawler.
But that's not the way it is, Austin. It's Austin Idol, Jerry Lawler to find out who goes against the champion.
Well, you know, I think that I can probably vouch for just about every wrestler in the wrestling profession that they all have a dream. They all have an ambition, a goal, and that's to become world's heavyweight champion. And I'm sure that Jerry, of course, has that same goal. But I, too, on the other side of the coin, have that same goal, too. Now, don't get me wrong. I firmly believe that Lawler can beat Nick Bockwinkel. But likewise, I firmly believe that I can beat Bockwinkel too. Now, it just so happens, I guess, because I'm the international heavyweight champion, I've held on to this belt for a long time, Lance.
Yes, sir.
And I've beat a lot of people for, challengers and contenders for this belt, and not just in the Memphis area, but around the whole country and out of the country too. So I feel like I have earned my shot too. Now, I know King wants his shot. Idol wants his shot too, and believe me, like I'm not trying to rehash, I wish it would have been anybody else, but it just so happens that fate has thrown us together.
True. And Idol and Lawler, and that's what's going to be happening. Now, what is going to happen?
Well, what's going to happen, Lance, is that you're going to find two guys who are hungry.
Hey, who have been partners and very successful.
And friends, Lance, and friends. I want to make sure that's out front, and friends. But you're going to find two guys who go into a ring that are going to be hungry for one thing and one thing only. They're going to be hungry to win that match. And King, I want this match. I want to wrestle Nick Bockwinkel just as bad as you do. I'm not hollering, and I'm not screaming, and I'm not going to come out here and say a lot of things that I don't mean, because I never do that. But I want this win, King, and I want you to know, Jack, I'm coming at you so strong. I just want you to come at me the way I'm going to come at you. And we'll find out who's going to wrestle Nick Bockwinkel real quick.
That was kind of an interesting situation in there. It is certainly one that leads to a lot of imagination in a lot of the wrestling fans' minds. Here comes King out here right now. We'll wait with our comments till we get him out here, because I really would like to ask him about it. Jerry, thank you for coming out, and happy holidays to you.
Thank
you. We
you.
just finished listening to an interview I did with Austin Idol. A big match coming up. You and Austin going for a shot at the world heavyweight crown held by Nick Bockwinkel. I got to ask you this, as I was talking to Austin about it and trying to get a direct answer, and I know you'll give me that. Do you have anything in the back of your mind that says, whoa, this is Austin Idol, who can be a bad, bad son of a gun?
Well, you know, maybe that is in the back of my mind, but if it gets down to something like that, I can be a pretty bad son of a gun myself.
Yes,
but I really don't anticipate anything like that. I agree with his feelings completely. I sat in the back and listened to the interview myself. I would rather be wrestling anybody else, anybody other than Austin. You know, I won the title back, the Southern title back from Jesse Ventura. I got a win over Ken Patera, a win over Randy Savage, even though it was by disqualification. It was a win nonetheless, and also in a tag match with Joe LeDuc. And so that put me in line, with the exception of facing another man that also was in line for the title.
International title holder.
That's right. So it's just simply boiled down to that. That's why many times people ask me, you know, that's one of the questions you get asked most often, say, well, are you guys friends outside of the rings? You know, are all the wrestlers just big pals? Well, let me just tell you this. They're not, because it doesn't pay to form big friendships, because of situations like this. You never know who you're going to be wrestling.
Okay.
And
speaking of friends, this ain't one.
No, you're right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold it. Wait.
What?
Come over here, Russell.
Jimmy. All right.
Well, let me just say something. I think it might be safer over here. Listen, before you try to slap me or do anything to me, I want to remind you, behind that door over there, I've got Norvell Austin and the A-team member, okay? One of my A-team right there. But listen, I've got a proposal for you, Jerry Lawler. You know, I listened to your interview just then, and I heard you talking. And I was in the back, and I was listening to Austin Idol's interview. Think about it, King. Listen to this guy. He's saying, y'all are friends. Y'all are friends. And you just said to Russell, I don't anticipate anything happening. Well, let me tell you something, baby. You better anticipate it, because think about Austin Idol. Think about it. Austin Idol, there's the only thing that stands in his way, baby, to that shot with Nick Bockwinkel is Jerry Lawler. Now, think about that, King. And he's going to do anything he can to get that shot. You know it, I know it, and the people over here know it. He'll stoop to anything for that, and you better wake up. Let me refresh your memory just for a second here. Do you remember 5.5 years ago when Jimmy Hart used to manage, in my opinion, the greatest professional athlete in the world today? And I'm not saying you're not a great athlete, but I'm just going to say this, man. I was sitting at home, right? All of a sudden a phone call came in, and it said, hey, this is the hospital in Nashville, Tennessee, and Jerry the King Lawler is in intensive care in Nashville. In Nashville. So what did I do, man? I got on a plane and I went all the way up there, and I thought, man, it can't be Lawler. It can't, maybe a broken hand or something, but nothing can knock the King off his feet. But somebody did, and it was Austin Idol. And when I walked into that hospital, man, there was the King laying in the bed, white as a ghost, man. Look, you had tubes up your nose, in your arms, the whole thing, man. You were laying there on the brink of death. And who put you there? Austin Idol. Your friend, Austin Idol. The guy that you're not going to worry about, Austin Idol, man. And then, just one more thing here, King. Think about this. Right where you're standing, right there, man. 17 stitches went into your head 2 years ago when Austin Idol came out here, and he was in a mask as El Casagrande, because everybody knows, hey, sure, you do a lot of charity work, and you donated money up in Mexico City, and you had an award coming in here. But Austin Idol walked out here, man, walked out here right where you're standing now, and your blood was all over that floor. From who? Austin Idol. 17 stitches in your head, and you've got the scar now, and that's from your friend, Austin Idol. So what I'm trying to tell you, King, you better wake up, brother, because I promise you this. I don't think Austin Idol, just by looking at that interview, looking at his eyes, you know, I don't think
Hey,
it's
Jimmy,
there,
that
baby.
was all in the
It's not
past,
there, man. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this, Lawler. You want to be the world champion? Hey, you take me to the ring with you, baby, and I promise you, you'll go through Austin Idol. You'll go through Austin Idol like that, man, like that, and then you'll have your shot at Nick Bockwinkel. Think about it, King.
Grab that mic, Jerry. Would you get that mic right there, please? You want him to take you down to the ring with him?
Hey, baby, that's the only way, King, like that, man. That's all you like.
First of all, I've listened to everything you said, and just as Lance said, all of the problems between Austin Idol and myself were in the past. We've talked that situation over. We've talked it out. He's been probably the best tag team partner that I've ever had. I don't anticipate anything like that out of him. And even if it happened, I feel man enough that I can handle it. What would I need you in my corner for?
Very honest question, Jimmy.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. You know, back when I used to manage you, your one big dream was becoming the world champion.
The world champion. That's all we ever talked about, is becoming the world champion. And I'll say this, you are a great athlete. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, I've always wanted to manage a world champion. And you've always wanted to be the world champion. That's been my dream, and I know it's always been your dream. So what I'm saying, baby, if I go to your corner, into your corner this week, go to the ring with you, I'll prove to it that you can be the next world champion, and you'll go through Austin Idol like that, and then I'll be in your corner against Nick Botwinkle. My dream will come true, Lawler, and your dream will come true. So that's why I want to be there, baby.
Well, let me just say this to you. It's what you have said is very true. We did talk about that a lot, and me being the world heavyweight champion has been a dream ever since the first time I ever set foot in a wrestling ring. And I want that more than anything that I've ever wanted involved in wrestling. But if me being the champion meant that I had to have you as my manager, then you can forget it. I don't want to be the champion that bad. So, Hart, I wouldn't take you for my manager. I wouldn't take you for anything. The only thing that I'd like to take you is to that same hospital that I was laying in. And if you ever come out and try to be in my corner, brother, that's where you'll wind up, I promise you.
Okay, Mr. Hot Shot, just remember, I gave you a chance. I gave you the opportunity of a lifetime, Mr. Big Shot. You'll pay for that, I promise you that. He'll pay for it, baby.
Jimmy Hart, another one of his grandstand spectacular plays. Jerry Lawler turns you down, and I mean flat. Okay, we'll take time out, and we're going to be back in just a moment. Well, let me see if I can get it.
I asked you a while ago. You get Austin Idol on the phone for me. You know, you've got the number.
Okay, Jimmy.
You get a hold of him.
Pardon me. I don't know whether we can do it. Can we get that? This, we'll thank the Wake Up Call crew for letting us borrow their telephone here.
Mr. Big Shot. That's who he is.
Okay.
There you go. You gotta work this in. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out whether we can work it or not. Jimmy Hart. One of them where is the, huh?
Nobody be going now.
Okay.
Come on, Russell, I gave you the number and I called him for me.
Well, I don't get any dial tone. Maybe all of those. Maybe I got the wrong. No, not yet, huh? Jimmy, we're going to a lot of extra work here to see if we can get it.
Baby, I'm worth it.
Yeah, well, I don't hear any dial tones, so I don't know. Could it be any one of those other buttons? Ah.
There you go.
Oh, okay, now we're in
I
business.
can't believe it, $1 million operation here. You can't even get a...
Jimmy, we're not out here doing a dialing for dollars type thing, and you come out here and insist on it. Yeah. I got it. Okay. Are you sure this is the right number that you gave me?
It's the right number, baby. I used to manage the guy myself.
Well, we'll find out here in just a moment. Trying to reach. Well, it's ringing right now, Jimmy. Boy, we are sure wasting a lot of time with you here.
Idle residence, may I help you, please?
Is Mr. Idle there?
May I ask who's calling?
Well, Jimmy, huh? Okay, Lance Russell.
If you'll hold on just...
Afraid he wouldn't take a call?
Pardon me?
No, this is Lance Russell calling Mr. Idle.
Yes, hold on just one moment.
Thank you.
Russell.
Thank you.
I'll see if Mr. Idle's available. 1 second.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ain't that something?
I'll take the phone.
Got it. You take the phone. I want everybody else to hear this.
Well, Lance. Hello.
Austin Idol.
Yeah, who's this?
This is not Lance Russell, first of all. This is Jimmy Hart, but don't hang up. Don't hang up. I want you to listen to me real carefully. Listen to me. Now listen, just listen to me, okay? Before you hang up, just listen to me, all right?
How'd you get this number, Hart?
Listen, man, just listen to me, okay? Well, listen.
What do you want?
You've got a championship match coming up with Nick Botwinkle if you defeat Jerry Lawler. Am I right or wrong?
Well, you're right.
Okay, well, let me just say something, man. Can you really trust him, Austin? Can you really trust Jerry Lawler? Now, I know what you're going to say. Hey, you've been tag team partners for over this past 8 or 9 months or a year, and y'all are big buddies. But listen to me, man. I just heard his interview a while ago, and I'm telling you, baby, he's coming loaded. You're going to have to be careful, Austin. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me, Austin, please. Before you hang up, I want you to listen to me.
What are you getting at?
All right, what I'm getting at is this. Think about this, man. Who is the man in professional wrestling who's done more damage to you than anybody in professional wrestling? Anybody. Jerry Lawler. You remember the time he burnt you, man? You were severely burned. You were off from wrestling for almost 4.5 months, Austin. You could have been blinded. You could have been misfit.
Hart, wait a minute, Hart. Now, wait a minute, Hart. That's all water under the bridge now.
But water under the bridge back then, Austin. But can you trust him now? Listen, do you realize his big dream in his life is to be the next world champion? And the only thing standing in his way is you, Austin. You're the only thing in his way, man. Am I right or wrong?
Wait, Hart, why don't you get to the bottom line?
Okay, the bottom of this. I'm going to make it short and sweet. Let me tell you something,
Merry
baby.
Christmas, because I don't even think you believe in Christmas.
Okay, well, that's all right. Say what you want, big man, but let me just tell you this, Austin, okay? Lawler is coming, baby. He's coming at you for one thing and one thing only, and that's to defeat you 1, 2, 3, baby, and he has that shot at that world belt. This might be the last opportunity you'll ever have in your life. So what I'm offering you is this, a chance for me to go to that ring with you Monday night and to be your manager, Austin Idol. To be your manager. And listen, one extra little incentive, okay? And to show you my heart's in the right place, Austin Idol, I've got a check for $5,000 that I will hand to you personally, okay? Before we go to that ring. Because like I said before, baby, I want to manage the world champion. I know you could be the next world champion. So what do you think?
Let me see if I understand you right now. You're saying that you're going to give me $5,000, $5,000, to sit in my corner Monday night in my match against Jerry Lawler. Is that right?
That's right. And I'll promise you when that match is over, you will have the shot with Nick Botwinkle and not Jerry Lawler. And that is a promise from me to you, baby. Thank you. What do you think? Huh?
5 G's, you say, huh? $5,000?
$5,000, baby. All I want you to do is just think it over, okay? That's all I ask.
Tell you what, Hart. I'll tell you what I'll do. Call me back in about 20 minutes, okay, Hart?
20 minutes, okay.
Call me back in about 20 minutes, all right?
Great. All right, 20 minutes, I'll call you back. Keep off the phone. All right. We got a deal, baby. That is a deal. That is a deal right there. I promise you this. Austin Idol will be the next world
Jimmy, he didn't
champion,
say
baby.
it was a deal.
Hey,
He said call him back in 20 minutes.
$5,000, baby. That's a deal, baby. I promise you that, Russell. I promise you, man.
I cannot believe this guy.
As far as I'm concerned, I promise you.
I've been around you forever, and you still come up with stuff I can't believe.